Jon Jones, world's baddest guy? Maybe. Most dangerous man on planet Earth without a weapon. As an unarmed combatant, Jon Jones. Maybe. I can't assure you there's anybody more dangerous. And I share that with you because I would assume with that comes a courage. Or the courage was there first, and that's one of the elements that you had or attributes to get to the dangerous spot we're referring to. And last night, Jon Jones sends out some tweets. There's no profanity in them. There's no illicit photos. There was no inside information. He sent out some tweets. He defended himself. And then he deleted them. What do you make of that? I mean, what should we make of that? I can't think of too many more weak plays in our sport than saying something and not standing on it. I can't think of too many things in life that are weaker than that. But we see many of our toughest guys, many of our most respected or successful guys, it's a commonality they have. And I don't personally believe that they delete it because they realize it was inappropriate or it was offensive or it was over a line. If it was any of those things, my goodness, there's a mechanism to take that back. Hit the delete button, of course. But that isn't what happened here. And I will see a number of guys. We're talking about Jon right now, but I could bring in many other guys. They will put it out. It doesn't go well, so they take it back. They get a response from the Twitter sphere that is not the direction of the response they thought they would get, meaning it was negative. Somebody said something, somebody didn't like it, somebody got up their ass about it, and so they delete it. And it's a really, really weird thing to do. It's weak for one, but two, it doesn't take the act away. Not to mention, it doesn't even delete it. Right? I mean, it's the internet. It's out there. And Jon does get in a position from a narcissistic standpoint where you cannot ask him anything that challenges him, that pushes weird buttons with him. Jon had made some comments. He said, I feel like this is deja vu. It was in response to Tom Aspinall. He said, I feel like this is deja vu. You get a guy, you get him a little bit hot. He's the next big thing. I then fight him. As soon as I get done beating him, people go, well, that guy was never all that good in the first place, and they move on and they find the next best thing. And Jon was saying it from a standpoint that this bothers him. He was making a very fair observation, and Jon is right. Like, that is how it works. You just can't shake the guy, and you just can't smack any sense into him. That's the business, you idiot. Like, this thing that you're trying to stop, this thing that if you had a magic wand and you would make it stop, this isn't right. If you don't have that, you don't have a business. You don't have a check when this is done. You're back to your days of wrestling where you're putting down an entry fee, working your ass off, and nobody knows about it when it's done. And you don't know where your meal's going to be. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. It's literally what creates this business. And Jon, as a narcissist, think he's the only one that goes through it. Everybody goes through it. There is nothing unique about Jon. And I'm also wondering, am I even right? Did he take it down because somebody hurt his feelings? Because I don't have proof of that. It's a suspicion I have, but I don't have proof. I have another suspicion, which is when Jon starts talking about Aspinall or a guy from that era or anybody that isn't Stipe, somebody grabs a hold of him and says, hey, don't forget, we're running the this is your retirement fight angle, which is just it's a crappy angle. I mean, whoever's idea this, it's a crap angle. Retirement fights do not do well. They have never done well. You're attempting to invoke the only law of economics that even matters, supply and demand. I understand it in theory. It's not the way it works. It is the surest path to losing fans. Because one, you're either a liar, which would be the case here. He's not retired. But one, you're either a liar. Now we can't trust you. Or, moreover, we do trust you. My career as a fan does not end when your career as an athlete ends. It will transfer. I will transfer that energy and those hopes and those emotions and those jerseys, and I will put it on somebody else. So then when you try to come back, I'm already on this bandwagon. It is truly a rotten idea. And where did it come from? Jon Jones, for the talent that he is within sports, fights in front of more people dressed up as empty seats than anybody. There's no Tiger Woods, and he's in that category. John's that good. There's no LeBron James, and John's in that category. He's that good. Those guys don't fight in front of empty chairs. Jon does. So who is it that's grabbing him and telling him we need a spoof and we need an angle? You versus Stipe isn't enough. Our numbers tell us you versus Stipe is not enough interest. You suck at promoting. He's not going to promote at all. We got enough footage and enough fans, and you guys have been around long enough. I think as a third party, we can start to tell a story. But we are living in an era where we count on you, and we sure as hell know we can't count on you. So who is it that's telling him that he needs to do a spoof? And it's not like a maybe. It's not like a maybe that this is worried that this doesn't draw. This fight didn't even get announced until it was made crystal clear that Conor McGregor didn't want the date. So it's an afterthought to start with. And then secondly, we're told that the card is about to get spruced up with Colby Covington's presence. I'm not hating on that. By the way, I'm not being my typical jerk of a self as it pertains to Jon Jones. I'm sincerely wondering what's going on here because there's much better marketing minds. Jon has access to me. He could come one text message. I'll lay this whole thing out for him, make him millions of dollars. Who is it that he turned to and gave him the advice to act as though this is going to be your last fight? We're now going to threaten the fans. We're threatening them. Buy this. Come to this. Support this. It's the last one. I'm never giving you another one. You better be here at this one. Who is it that gave that rotten idea? And is that why we're deleting? Is that why we're not starting and talking about Aspinall? Is that a piece of it? I must admit for you, I don't have any proof of that. It's just an idea. But there was no reason to delete any of those tweets. There was nothing explicit. There was nothing mean. There was nothing over the line, whatever the hell that means. It wasn't even a maybe. This all stuff was fine. Why did it get deleted? And then Aspinall had a great response, by the way, which is he said, Jon, chill out, mate. That was it. But it was a really good response. But it is an ultra eyebrow raising thought that Jon feels he's in a unique position because the audience is talking about what's next, who can beat him. Let's just say that those things aren't there. That would mean, if we were to follow the laws of logic, that we have to go to the opposite side of that. The public does not believe anybody's next. They don't have an interest in seeing anybody face Jon. They don't believe that anybody can beat him. The only distinction of why lots of empty seats are watching Jon fight versus all the seats are empty is that. So to be frustrated on the only thing that brings people in the door, it doesn't make you weird, doesn't make you unique, but it does make you just a little bit stupid.